Hi all. Today we will discuss about pragmatism and education, another recent philosophy which influences education. Now let us see the important principles of pragmatism. Change. Change is the fighting adjective of pragmatism because they believe that everything changes except change. So change is only fixed. There is continuous change in this world. So that changing nature is truth. So according to pragmatism, that changing nature, because everything is changed, we are changing. Our nature is changing. The environment around us is going on change, different kind of changes. So nowadays we are talking much about climate change because that change in that existing pattern in climate. So there is change in every realm of life. And according to them, another principle, reality is plurality. That means there is no ultimate reality, as we see in the case of idealism or in naturalism. There is no single or ultimate reality. Reality is multiple. There shall be multiple realities. Or reality is still in the making. That's their view. Because everything changes, so naturally reality also will change. So that is still in the making. So we don't know what is finally real. Because the change, the cycle of change is goes on. So what will come at the end, or there will be an end like that, or that is not in the dictionary of pragmatism. So they believe in subjective values. So no concept of ultimate values because no concern of ultimate reality. So they believe in subjective value. That is why they strongly believe in change. Subject value means values assigned by individuals to different kinds of materials and all. Then another important principle is utility principle. Those objects, materials, and everything having some utility value. So a utilitarian philosophy is pragmatism. So utility principle. Then man is important than nature. So in naturalism, we saw that nature is supreme. But according to pragmatism, it is not nature, but again, human beings is important than nature. Then they have faith in present and future, not in uh, life in two worlds, as mentioned in idealism, but the present life as well as the future life, future of the human beings, our future. So what all things we can utilize for future, what all materials are required, what are our aim of life, all these are subjective and there is no ultimate reality. change is real. So these are some of the major principles of pragmatism. Now, aims of education. Beliefs are rules of action. So that's their concept of value. The rules of action. What are the rules of action? The rules of action or doing something is our beliefs. So we do things based on our beliefs. So that is subjective. So naturally they believe in subjective values because it is individual dependent. What we believe, that is valuable for us. Then they also believe in social and democratic values. So these values, which are generally subjective according to pragmatism, and they are concerned about social as well as democratic values. The aim of education. The aim of education is growth and more growth and more growth. So that is the growth is the aim of education. There is no ultimatum. There is no limit for growth. Growth to maximum. That's the aim of education according to pragmatism. And they mentioned certain social dimensions for individual growth. So growth of each individual having different dimensions such as democracy, flexibility, social efficiency, and active participation. So these four are the dimensions of individual growth. So an individual shall grow in these areas or these dimensions as well. Democracy, be democratic, flexible, social efficiency, as well as active participation. So all these dimensions shall be developed through education. Then creation of new values. We are already mentioned that pragmatism believe in subjective value. So each individual shall be capable of creating value of her own or his own. So creation of new values is another aim of education. Then personal and social adjustment. So adjustment in a society. Adjustment within the society as a member, as well as personal adjustment with the changing nature. So changes will be there everywhere. So we shall be ready to take up the changes. Then reconstruction of experiences. That's another aim of aim of education. Education should help learners to reconstruct our experience for such kind of adjustments. Then all-round development of the learners. So these are some of the aims of education according to pragmatism. Then curriculum. So their concept of reality. We are already mentioned that pragmatism believe reality is multiple or reality is still in the making because there is no concept of ultimate reality. So reality is subjective. It is multiple, plurality. So naturally, they set certain principles of curriculum, such as principle of interest, principle of experiences, principle of integration, and principle of utility. So curriculum shall be based on the principle of interest. It shall have interest of learners. Then experiences shall be provision for experiences based curriculum. Then integration. There shall be integration between subjects and activities, not separated as watertight compartments, various subjects and theory and practice. And there is a principle of utility, because the curriculum shall be based on the principle of utility, because it shall enable learners in their present and future life. So on the basis of such principles, pragmatism propose experiential curriculum, experience based curriculum, as well as integrated curriculum. So subjects and activities are well integrated. Then the subjects such as science, mathematics also is there always. Then history, agriculture, arts and crafts, home science, etc. So that's about the curriculum. Then method of teaching. So according to pragmatism, child have vivid potentialities. A child, a learner, having different kinds of capacities. So we have to develop the capacities of children, learners. So that's why method shall be based on activities, learning by doing, project method, discussion, etc. So activity oriented methods which promote learning by doing. And the project method, that's one of the best method for every subject, because the project method help to develop most of the process skills in science or other subjects, because projects have a specific design. It has got a systematic procedure, different kinds of processes, activities, planning, everything is there in a project method. So they suggest project method as a holistic method. Then of course discussion, because they believe in social as well as democratic values. Then emphasis on practical activities or practical work. So that's about methods of teaching proposed by pragmatism. Then teacher. Then specific roles, specific duties are assigned for teachers according to pragmatism. In generally, teacher shall be a pragmatist, and teacher shall always help learners for different in different phases of learning, such as to initiate an activity, initiate the learning activity. Teacher should help learners in initiate learning activity. Then help to plan how to conduct the activity. Help to execute the plan. Then help to evaluate progress of work. How to evaluate the progress. Help to encourage new lines of thoughts. So when learners engage in some activities, when they execute something, they will face some constraints naturally. And there will be new lines of thought emerges as a result to overcome such kind of difficulties or issues. So I encourage those also and help to formulate suggestions on the basis of suggestions as well as results. So at the end of this activity, inquiry or whatever it is, there shall be something emerges out of the activity. So to conclude that, to frame some suggestions, to draw some result. So teacher shall be there to help learners, not to actual formulation, and help to learn lesson from feedback. So that's also is very important. Collecting feedback and learning some important lessons from the feedback. Naturally, there is that everything goes to an end by collecting feedback. And what we will do with the feedback? That feedback help us to draw some inferences, some new lessons, how to modify this. So teacher shall help learners in all such activities from initiation to feedback and revision. Then regarding freedom and discipline, social discipline as well as self-discipline, because there are social interactions and there will be focus on individual growth. So social discipline as well as self-discipline. And they stated that the mental state of child make a work or a play a play. So a child who decide what should be a work, what should be a play, it is not the teacher or it is not the adult. So the responsibility of learning, responsibility of working, responsibility of playing is on learner. The child decides what she or he desire. So self-discipline. No place for rewards and punishments. Rewards and punishments are not the part of education. Learners learn according to their interest, and when they are interested to play, they play. And from that play also they learn so many things. So that's the concept of freedom and discipline according to pragmatism. So thanks for watching the presentation. Thank you all.